Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM21 Career Mode. We're on episode 89. Second stage in a row here in Catalonia that is climbing, and it's 2 out of 2 climbing stages. We find ourselves in a pretty great position, all things considered. Karaman now sitting in 3rd place overall. My goal, my objective on this one is to try to get on the podium. I don't think we stand much a chance of winning, but if we can keep a podium, I think that's pretty dang fantastic. Now, that task should have been on the easier side in that Karaman, with the objective and fitness peak sitting on a +3. Isakov sitting on a +3. Well, Isakov for the second stage in a row not getting his +3. He's only a +1. Gonzalez Albiol, the other top support climber, he's got a -2. But Karaman does have a +4. So it's really going to help his individual chance of keeping a result. He's just 24 seconds behind in that 3rd place, but it's still really, really tight among the contenders. And speaking of contenders, there are so many high-quality climbers at this race that Karaman doesn't even make the list of top 10 favorites. And rightfully so. I mean, it's not a mistake. There are more than 10 better climbers than Karaman at this race. Bernal has an 85. Berlikov has an 84. There's an 83 in the field. There is a half a dozen 82s. Karaman has an 80. So he is well below, and again, there's another half dozen 81s in between as well to put that list over 10 riders above the mark. Now, let's set ourselves up before, because we're already experiencing some fatigue here. We want to protect Karaman, obviously. We want to protect Isakov, and we want to protect Gonzalez Albiol, even though his resistance is really low. I don't think we're looking at anybody, though Luca looks pretty dang good. All right, 3 climbs on this stage, and it certainly does have a big finishing climb. We have an Allscat here that doesn't look that bad. This is the one that looks really bad, the finishing climb. But if we have support at the base of that, I like our chances a whole lot better. And again, I think I'm going to ride defensively here. I don't want to be aggressive or anything like that. They're still going to see Karaman as a threat, so if he attacked, the others would respond. That's just the nature of the game. That's the nature of the AI. They take you seriously no matter how bad you are. They always do, especially on this difficulty level. At least I haven't played this year on anything less than this difficulty level, so it's how I know it. You know, maybe if you were on easy and Karaman attacked, they would let him go up the road and ride away and gain minutes, or be able to do that anyway, but that's not the circumstances. They are what they are. Now we're through the first climb, just 5 riders off the front, and we are good so far. Only 1 rider was dropped. Now, after finally achieving our first objective of the year, and it was an ultra success, we got a podium. In fact, 2 riders on the podium when we needed a top 10, so it was well above the objective. It created a pretty good boost to our sponsor confidence, but we've got a long ways to go yet. This race, not on the list of objectives in any way. It's just a race. It's something to do, and let's send Narbutas back to get the water for us. A couple successes like that, though, and we certainly won't have to worry. We will be just fine on the sponsor confidence. Alright, here we go. Climb number 2. Now, as we go to set off on this one, yes, I immediately see that a 75 is lacking a little bit. Gonzalez Albiol, I don't know what he's doing so far back here. This is definitely not where he's supposed to be positioned. So we'll have to, I suppose, kind of ride with him for now. We're in the steepest part of the climb, so this is definitely not the time for him to massively up the effort and try to push forward. Right now we want to just make sure he doesn't slip any further back. Pace isn't that bad right now. Breakaway's lead isn't that big right now, so we're definitely looking at a stage win coming out of this group. Karaman also getting kind of squeezed back a little bit at the moment, so let's help him out. Get back forward. Okay, and Gonzalez Albiol has recovered his position at least a little bit. Okay, not too much fatigue, but riders are starting to get dropped. Climb gets a lot easier the rest of the way. That was the hard part already. One last steep section to go. And at 2.8, 2.7, it's definitely easier through here. I mean, it's already kind of back to flat. But we resume climbing. It's going to get difficult for a little bit. Narbutas, Riabovis, they are not going to make it to the top, I don't think. Another flatter section into. Let's hope these guys can hang on. 121 in the Peloton. They might just hang on. We might have our entire team for the climb to come. Or we might be down a couple guys. We'll see. Most of them are here. Small little attack. KOM. Fighting for the KOM. A lot of points at the top there. Just not something I'm worried about. And we do. We have our whole team over the top in place. Recovering. But also needing water. I think I'd rather just kind of sit on this one. Rather sit on this one. Let them recover. Okay, now we could try to send somebody to get water. Right above us. He's got it. He's returning. Little flat section, and he's got it. Nice. Okay, 20K to go. We also want to prepare for the rest to come. So let's bump that up. And we're about to begin the final climb. 19K to go. And we're obviously in pretty good shape here. Let's set it to your climbing pace. These are all climbers, not punchers.
The pack is increasing its work rate.
And again, we want to ride defensively. So let's keep an eye out. We've got Gels still 85 is blinking red. Arn's been really pushing for RTL for Carapaz right now. And one last rider up the road. An EF Education rider. 16.7K. Let's get the gels for these guys because they are working hard. They're going quick. Carapaz going for the attack. Pogacar going with him.
Attack by Richard Carapaz.
Okay, 5.6K. Where's the response? Where's the response? Let them respond. Karaman just not strong enough to respond properly. Let the others do the dirty work. Save ourselves for late. So far, this is paying off well. The conservative ride. 4K to go. 36 chasing 5 front riders. 5 is definitely not how many we want to be away, but we're at 3.3K and really going fast on the ride at the moment. Now it's down to just 3 riders away, so that's already improved. We're at 24 chasing them. 2.4K. If we had more energy, I would attack right now, but we don't have more energy. We're coming back to where it's just 2 away and 1.7K. So now we're starting to look into the final push here. Karaman, going what pace we can, finding a little space. We've come back at the front too, and we have 1K to go, but we don't have the energy to attack. This is now just a push for the finish line. Push for the finish line. Okay, sprint it out. Bernal is going to take the stage. Gilmos, Almeida, Carapaz, and we are right there at the front. So the conservative ride has paid off very well. We're a few seconds behind those front 3 guys, but then we're right there in the next group. But then there's gaps behind us. Now, I don't remember what order things were in prior to this stage, but we're definitely going to be in a good place. Obviously, we're top 5. Guaranteed top 5, but will we still be in the top 3 in the standings? maybe. And that was... it's not ideal. Ideal is winning, obviously, but I didn't expect that we would contend in that type of manner. Riding solo that hard and seeing those guys attack and seeing how low we were on energy. Still being there at the end, being able to leave our group behind and go on and be in the final few riders at the top. That's good. That's good. So we lose 20 seconds to the front three, but we gain 19 seconds on anyone behind us, which means still in the top three. Almeida leads, Bernal second, Karaman in third. And pretty secure in that third place now. So yes, we did really well with that. Burlikov, okay? Burlikov 3 minutes behind in 13th. Now that feels good. That feels good that Karaman is that far ahead of Burlikov, because we know for a fact how much better Burlikov is than Karaman. Significant gap between the two. So that's good. That's good. We're in a good place. 2 punchy stages, though, so this race is not done yet, but I like the position that we are in and the chances of hanging on to it the rest of the way. And we diverge off our Catalonia path once again, this time for the E3 Saxo Bank Classic. So, Northern Classic, World Tour level, not the hardest classic out there, but definitely not the easiest. It has a fair amount of undulation, it has a fair amount of cobbled sectors, and I have a fair amount of my classics guys here. Not every one of them, because, well, it's a busy calendar for us at the moment, so we have a lot of guys in a lot of places. And we're able to get 3 of them here. So we have Wakira, we have Galvez, the overall classics leader for us, and has been for a number of years now, and Hamadovic. Hamadovic, unfortunately, on a -2. The team as a whole draws a -4 today, but it is foul weather that we are participating in. And we're about to hit the first sectors. 3.5 stars, not easy. Plus, it's a little bit of a climb, so that's going to do some damage. We're going to see it split the field a little bit. But it'll come back together. Stalionis, though, maybe not. How much ground has he lost? Dang, he is way back. He was supposed to be protecting a rider, and he is way back here already. -4. Cobble rating 62. Today a 60 with low stamina resistance. Yeah, see you later. Okay, so that means we are down a man. Bernotas is not going to be going for a sprint win with that kind of cobble rating. And that was those first couple sectors, and we're already seeing a lot of damage done. Speaking of a lot of damage done, let's take our 3 leaders up their effort slightly, please. And we are already down to 6. 2-star sector. This one flat. This one shouldn't do much. Back-to-back sectors, though. And we're seeing, what, 8 riders, 6 riders off the front? Things will settle down here shortly. In fact, Stalionis is already back on par. We'll get him back up here in just a little bit. Get him to replace Bernotas once he gets back up in place. Let's go ahead and go back to protect. Bernotas will sit on his own. Alright, first phase complete. We definitely felt it. You can see Stalionis really struggling after that one, but his -4, that's bound to happen. Domestique on the day anyway, but it's going to be painful. We're going to see guys fall away pretty dang quick, and we're going to have to be on our game. 128k to go. Just about a good time to go ahead and get water. Stalionis, this is going to be about the best thing you could be used for. Save your teammates for a bit longer. There we go. Okay, water. Task complete, but not the only time. We're going to have to do it again. Okay, into the undulation. That's going to last most of the way. It finishes on the flat, but I don't think there's going to be a large peloton left at that point. Having Bernotas would be nice. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to be around. He's going to get dropped. He's a little too weak. Here we go. Only cobbled sector through here for a little bit. 2 stars uphill, but we're over it. We're through it, and we do see a split, but it's going to come back together. Now 86, 113. This time we've got everybody here. Let's drop back. This is as far back as we are, so we've got everybody still in position. 12 riders off the front, by the way. As 5 riders escaped from that. And we're starting to see a few guys fall away. Another small sector coming up in the next little bit, and then the race is going to intensify shortly after that. This is not a small sector, it's 3+. Let's up the effort, get it to an 81 here. The fact that these are all uphill contributes. It makes it a lot harder when the cobbled sectors are uphill.
A fall just took place in the pack. Several riders are on the ground. Looks like a few riders at the back are
Field splits, Stallionis out the back. This time, probably not going to come back together. Put him back on auto. 69 at the front. I know some will regain contact, but definitely not all. The 12 at the front are all together now. They have just a 1 minute 40-second advantage. And we've got a little undulation for the next little while. Sato is tired. We want to get Hamadovic protected again. That's going to be on Brunotas. Or do we want to do it the other way? You know what? Let's do it the other way around. Screw it. Why not? Hamadovic has a -2. He's not going to win. Brunotas, if he's still there, he could win a sprint. I just don't think he's going to still be there. But we might as well swap those two around. There's no point riding for Hamadovic. There is a point to riding for Brunotas. Even though it's not going to succeed, it's worth a shot. .78 chasing 15, and we've already nearly caught him. Sato dropping back fast. And that's what happens. That's what happens when the energy starts to fade. Okay, told you that Brunotas was just not quite on par where he needed to be. We've got multiple cobbled sectors coming up in just a second. Sato is still here. Sato, gel, and go as hard as you can, please. Help chase. Can you help chase? Do you have the ability? He's just at the back. Okay. Let's go 85 and effort up, please.
This is so high that a few riders are going to be very sore at the end of the day.
Brunotas, you can see how quickly he goes backwards on the cobbled sectors. It's just not easy for him. Not easy terrain. We'll ride with him for the next little bit, but it looks like he is going to lose contact. He does lose contact yet again. He's got Hamadovic. And a small group. You know what? You're going to sit tight. Sato didn't even get dropped, but is about to. There you go. Leave him be. There's some chasers. So we got 39. Still chasing the 14 out of 15. They only dropped 1 rider. And we're definitely getting in towards the final stretch. 50k to go. Let's get Jurcevic to fetch some water. And let's get Hamadovic to get water for the two of you. This group definitely got a little bit bigger. That chase group got on. In fact, there's Sato, and Hamadovic just loses the group. That's awesome. Good job, buddy. Good job. You failed. And now he's got very little in the tank to try to get up. 16 chasing. Meanwhile, Brunotas is up here. We got 4 guys. Never mind the water part. It's all good. Just suck it up. We do have Wakira. We do have Galvez. They can sprint a little bit. Brunotas has some fatigue. But how much do we have? This next little piece is going to be really hard. In fact, this is the time where we need to do something right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. And we're going to have Wakira go second. We're going to have Galvez go third. Go by sprint order. Brunotas, try to hang on. Jurcevic, you're going to go gel right now. And push forward, please. Push forward. Forward, Jurcevic. Forward.
That's the End of the breakaway. The pack gave them
Breakaway's
no
been
chance.
caught.
This
Yurcevic.
climb is feared by many riders. The
Yurcevic
percentages are
needs to
very
go
high.
just flat out. Flat out, please. Yurcevic, you are too slow. Wow, he is way too slow. This is not good. This is not good. Pull your team along, please. Pull your team along. Bernotas, you can see how much he lost. Yurcevic pulling the team forward. This is 19, chasing 11. Now, some of that's going to be from the break, but this is a hard little sector. Yurcevic pushing, and actually now going a little bit better, gaining a little ground, and he is done. Wakira, who is much better cobbled, that gave us at least a chance. Wakira, push a little harder here.
Attacked by Stuyven.
This is where the best classics guys just open up a massive gap. Really, really hard sector. Uphill with 35k to go, and we're down to 2. Bernotas failed. He didn't make it. Yurcevic. Look how quickly the gap has opened. That's a massive gap in a very short period of time. Look, we have 2 guys left in some sort of contention. 24 chasing 8 right now. Let's at least get back together with these 8. And there you go. That's not bad. That's not bad. Now we're going to switch this up. Galvez, sit. And Wakira, protect. 30 chasing 5. And we're in contention. (29) 28 chasing 5 as riders are getting dropped off, unable to keep up with the tempo. 25 chasing 5. Now looking at a top 30, and it's coming back together. 1 rider left off the front. Okay, last cobbled sector coming in just a second, and the undulation is done. Yeah, we're still in this thing. Well, just about done anyway. Wakira, gel, please. Galvez, I want you to go effort up for just a second. And let's just do a little mini attack and see who could go. 6 riders clear. Hey, I said stop. Thank you. Group of 4. Group of 7. None of them want to work, really? Come on, you guys. You don't want to work. Top 7. Top 7, and you don't want to ride. Fan-freaking-tastic. I told you, no one. Doesn't matter how bad you are, they never want to work with you. They never want to go with you. We had the perfect breakaway. I'm the weakest of 7 guys. I would have been happy with 7th place. But no, the AI refuses to work with you. That breakaway easily could have worked. Sato with a puncture. Good thing it wasn't Galvez with a puncture. 13k to go. This group is larger than it was. Now we're seeing attacks.
There's a report over the radio of a rider coming off his bike. But apparently, he's back in the saddle.
Galvez, we tell him to follow. He does not. Okay, Asgreen is.
It's survival of the fittest, and evolution doesn't
And
seem
we
to favor
didn't
those
follow.
in the rear. There's a growing list of
We're
riders
going to follow
left
Banut.
behind. 5 kilometers to the finish line.
5k to go. Gel. 6 have broken away. It's back together again. 4k to go. At this point, it's looking like a bunch sprint.
Attack with the finishing line within reach.
Weren't we already following Tish Banut? Getting awfully far back here. 2.6k. 2.3k. Running out of energy. Come on. Now we're just looking for a top 10. Okay, his sprint is already on, but he's not sprinting. There you go. 1 kilometer to go. We emerge out front momentarily. It's not going to hold. He is not going to hold this to the line, but Can he hold on to a top 5? Not quite.
And it's a
So
superb
close though.
sprint
Well
win
placed.
for
Tim
Tim
Wellens for the win.
Wellens.
Stuyven Van Aert. It is going to be a top 10. Galvez, 8th place. 8th place is good. Wakira has
Riders
made
making up the
contact
rear
with
have
the
made it
group.
through sheer willpower.
So
This
he got
stage
back
was a
up.
real strength sapper.
32 in the final grouping. Wakira crosses the line 29th. Not sure where he came from. I didn't see him come up on us. I was a little focused. Galvez, that close. That was actually really close. 60 meters more, and he wins that. 60 meters. That's it. That's how close he was. Nearly had enough on him. But until this season, when was the last time in a proper classic? As in the real ones, not the lower level, lower tier ones. When was the last time we actually were competing for the final run in a classic? Now, of course, until what, last season? Season before? It's been 3 years now that we've been Continental Pro? Or is it 2? Gosh. Oh, my mind is a little scattered on the memory of that. Too many seasons back to back to back now of PCM that it's one series kind of overlaps into the next, into the next, into the next, and it's hard to retain the information. But anyway, I don't think we've really competed for a top 25, period. And I know our last one, right, we were just inside top 20. I don't think we've had a top 10 yet. This was our first proper classic where we were doing enough to hang in there, to be a part of it, to compete. And Galvez to go close, 60 meters away from claiming a win, and still managing to get a top 10, hanging on, beating Asgreen, beating McClay, Lampard, Van Barl. And that's good. It's good. It's progress. It's nice to be there. It's nice to be involved in the sprints finally. It's nice to be involved in the classics. And we're still involved in the GC stuff. We're just not, we don't have Burlikov. We're not winning those. But we've got a podium in Catalonia right now. I'm happy. I'm happy with where we're at. Okay, let's get back to Catalonia. And we are back in Catalonia. It's stage 5 out of 7. 2 of these are punchy, and then 1 sprint stage. So the race should be decided, but I brought a climbing team, not a punchy team. So we need to be strategic. We need to be careful in how we approach these 2 punchy stages to make sure we don't slip off the podium. Today looks like one, if handled properly, could go pretty well. Could. Now, here is the climb before the final climb, so the penultimate climb. And there's not much to this one, but you can see the tempo right now is crazy high. 130 in the Peloton, chasing 4 riders off the front, and now we get into our recovery stage. Now, all of my riders took a little hit and went backwards, but we've got this descent to recover our position. You can see Karaman is still in really good shape, but others are pretty dang tired. So speaking of tired, Narbutas is the most tired. Let's go ahead and use his gel. Gonzalez Albiol is riding as a domestique today with a -1 race day condition. And definitely not a puncher. He's only at a 70 hills rating. So how are we doing on getting back into position? Kyakovchi is our furthest rider back. Go ahead and get his gel here in just a second. We have 13K to go to the top of the climb. 35 kilometers overall. Let's go ahead. There you go. Get his gel active. Narbutas needs to come forward. I am going to sprint train this thing because that seems the safest way to try to hang on near the front, as this is going to be high tempo. And we want to not have to go high tempo. We want to control tempo, as we're not built for high tempo. So getting out front is going to be important. Almeida has been dropped. What happened with Almeida? All the more important to do something now. 85, we want to use mountain rating if we can. We'll see what that does for us. But Karaman's not going to go straight to the back. Let's go ahead and get somebody like Isakov behind him. Luko just in front. We will follow Ryabovis, follow Kikovci, Gonzalez Albiol, and Narbutas. Already in a good position. We're going to push him a little harder than 85. He's going to get past that Movistar rider and try to get forward, which at the moment he is not going forward terribly well. So 91. Here's that tempo that I was talking about. And Gonzalez Albiol lost his wheel. No, Kikovci. Where is Gonzalez Albiol? Where is the rest of the team at? Come on, you guys. Jeez, you had time for this, and this is how they take it. Narbutas already going backwards onto Gonzalez Albiol. See, that 70 hills rating is his downfall. Okay, next up, Gel. Gonzalez Albiol really doing poor, gosh. Okay, Kikovci. This is what I was talking about. This is that weakness. And Almeida is still not here, so he is potentially going to lose a bunch of time. Luko and Ryabovis, red bars. Red bars are a problem. Okay, Kikovci back off just slightly. Ryabovis is stuck behind anyway. And he's still trying to catch up to Kikovci. And does. His turn now. Luko, Gel. Okay, let's take the open space here on the right hand side and try to push through, open up a gap. There you go, there you go. Ryabovis. Go a little harder. Down to 100 riders and we get blocked off again. Just cannot find space. Okay, on to Luko. Okay, Isakov is still right there. Let's get Isakov to swap places. We will stay with Luko for the moment. And there is the top, but we are not done yet. We are not done yet. 81 riders left.
Oh, the list of those left behind goes on rising.
And finally, we're going to emerge out front, take control, try to see this thing out. Isakov Gel and Isakov take over. These guys to auto. Speaking of, let's take everybody who needs it. Set them all to auto as well and get back up to Isakov. There you go. Okay, now here is where we have that last little climb. We need to make that last little push through here. Isakov is going to try to take over with that. We're going to keep that pressure up. It's a minute 45, so Almeida is not coming back, and he is well behind. I don't know what happened to him, but this is what we prepared for, and this is what we're going to try to see out the rest of this race. Potentially moving into a top 2 position. Okay, over the top. Okay, we see splits. We are seeing splits. Karaman is going to take over, and he's got a 75 downhill rating. Maybe we need to work together with these guys, or what? We're not going to win a sprint. So I think making how much push we can, thinking about the GC, the time here. Okay.
Acceleration by Carapaz.
Back off a little bit. Back off a little bit. Another downhill section coming, but we just expended a lot of energy to keep pushing there. Isakov can go flat out, and we can follow.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 5 kilometers road sign.
4.5K to go. back together a little bit. 3K to go. Sit on. Follow. There's Berlikov. Vlasov opens a gap with 1K to go. Sprint. Be with the group, please. Do not get dropped. Just get same time. Okay, back together with Vlasov. He's going to win the stage. Lutsenko, Bernal. Not worried about the few seconds there. This is about being same time and having a gap behind us of 3 minutes to Almeida. I don't know what happened to him, but he loses 3 minutes. I didn't see his name pop up on any sort of crash or anything. I just noticed that all of a sudden we were E1 or E2, and that the P was off the back. And Joao Almeida goes from first down to 8th place, 209 behind Bernal, who inherits the lead. We move up a spot into 2nd place, 24 seconds behind Bernal on his 85 mountain rating, plus being very punchy as well. Pretty much impossible to catch, but our position improves. 1 spot better. I'll take it. Man, we are in the final stage. I could see this being decisive. There's a definite chance of this would be decisive. Onto the climb. First part's not bad. It eases off a little bit, and then we set up for the second phase. The second phase is what's really bad. It's right here. You turn that corner, and it is very steep. Short, but it's very steep. But then the descent isn't all descending either. So you have the descent, and then it goes back up again for a moment before then resuming the descent. Not as steep as it was through the first phase, and then you go through finishing it off towards the finish line. So pretty decisive one here, and we're already seeing splits in the field. In fact, I'm already seeing guys out the back, even though we were set to 75. Really? Kikuchi, what's going on? 78 mountain, and you couldn't keep up with that? Jeez. Get your position back here, please. Thank you. 128 riders. This is getting decisive quickly, in a way that was unexpected. Karaman is isolated already, at least at the moment. And we'll have 1 lap to go. He gets blocked off there momentarily, but he's okay. Now 21. Chasing 1 rider. Who is the 1 rider? It's Lutsenko. Lutsenko is 18 minutes, 49 seconds behind. Not a threat in any way, shape, or form. That's good. And Karaman. Let's just keep up this 85 type effort.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just
This thing yo-yos so much with the undulation. 9.8K. Now's the time to gel. Final attack. 8 riders now. 12 riders again. Back down to 8. Continue the attack towards the finish line. We're not going to win the sprint here. We are not going to win the sprint, but can we continue on towards the finish line? Final kilometer. 8 riders. We're not losing any time, so we keep a top 2. There's Bernal, and we are right behind Berlikov and Almeida. Skjelmos takes the win. That was good, though. That was good, considering he was all alone for ages. I can't believe that the first time up that climb, that field just blew apart, and then we could not get our teammates back up there. And luckily, Karaman was climbing well enough on his own to not get dropped and to still have plenty of energy left to finish this thing off. Tried to make a little move at the end, and ultimately we split it down to 8 riders. That was pretty decisive, considering it's just punchy and just that short little climb. But that thing was steep enough to really do damage, to really see the gaps open here, there, and everywhere again and again and again. But Karaman does well. He gets that small final grouping and does enough. He'll take second overall in this race. But I think that's an excellent result for him and for the team. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.